The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
When was the last time you had really good Texas-style barbecue? Eric's Family Barbecue, the way it's supposed to taste. Always delicious, never rushed, and prepared to perfection. Eric's Family Barbecue uses only 100% fresh meat, slowly smoked over mesquite wood until it's juicy and delicious. We all know their brisket is the best, but have you tried their pulled pork ribs, or rib tips? Amazing, and their sides are all house-made. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip. You won't be sorry. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more information.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
Hear the words you say sometimes? I mean, who talks like that?
98 KUPD.
Good morning, everybody. Hello there. Welcome to Monday. It is the Morning Sickness. It's 5:45. My name's Jon Holmberg. There's Brady Bogan, Brett Festley, Big Dick Toledo, and we're off and running once again for another week. Well, we had the happy ending show on Friday night, and normally that means we're done. It's the first time we've had it and then had to come back afterwards. Like,
2 more weeks.
Yeah, usually that's it. All right, folks, that's it. And we're off on our. And now we're like, wait a minute, this thing just was early this year. It was fun though. We had a great time, and everybody who showed up apparently had a great time as well. So it was a blast. I got to hang out with Jon Lovitz far too much. I had to pick him up at the airport on Friday, which was fun because I chose to sign Kyle Rittenhouse to stand outside the gate with and
to shock him.
Well, not necessarily to shock him, just to goof. He's not going to get shocked. So we're standing outside. I got the sign up, and I can't see around the corner. I don't know who's coming, so I'm just holding. This dude comes up, and he goes, Kyle Rittenhouse. I'm like, yeah. Oh, really, bro? I'm like, no, it's a joke. He goes, all right. And he gives me a fist bump. Another guy gives me the thumbs up. A couple other people are like, Rittenhouse. Like, this is weird. Like, there's too much support.
He's now a saint.
I get it. Yeah. No, he didn't, let's not go crazy. It was some political divide.
Good to see another white guy.
Yeah, right. You're a good white guy. I got the job done. Like, settle down. Rittenhouse. And the joke is for one guy. I know all the other people are going to enjoy it. But and then Lovitz comes, oh, my God. Did everybody see that? I'm like, yes, John. Everyone saw it. That was the whole idea is that you were in and amongst the crowd. Oh, good Lord. They think I'm him. That was great. Then we hung out the whole time, and then I took him to the thing. He did like 15 songs in the sound check. I wanted to go home. He's like, let me do another one real quick. Gay Bob. And he starts doing his gay bob. So I'm like, all right, I've heard this. Let's go. He's laughing, joking around. And we take him to the hotel, drop him off. He comes back, does his show. That night, he's like, who's taking me back to the hotel? I have a car arranged. I'm like, I'll get you back to the goddamn hotel. Make it easy. So I drive him back to the hotel. And he's playing he sings, too. He's a singer. He's got a couple songs in his phone. So he grabs I can't get your Bluetooth, where he plugs his phone into my car. And next thing you know, we've got Jon Lovitz songs going in the
karaoke in the Jeep?
Yeah, pretty much just
dreidel.
Man, a lot of that.
Yeah, a lot of
that would have been awesome holiday music. But he's singing, and I'm like, that's good. I had a couple of critiques for the production. I'm like, I'm just hearing a little thing. Really? Could you do it? I'm like, you do it. Pay for it yourself. Jesus Christ, you stereotype. Stop. People that do everything for you. And then he starts playing songs. He goes, I recorded this one to make it sound old. Listen. And he starts playing this old-timey ragtime thing. And he goes, here's me too. And he plays another one. And I'm like, hold on. That's Al Jolson, isn't it? He goes, I sound just like him, don't I? And I'm like, what? Are you doing that for real? Now I'm just playing the Al Jolson songs. Then I realize it's like the line to drop him off into the apartment. Or not the apartment, but it's the same building.
Yeah.
Of the hotel, is to go down there. And he's like, I remember when Phil Hartman did that thing with, we wrote something together on Saturday night. Watch this. And he gets this YouTube video, and we're watching, and the valet kid's like, could you guys move? And then I roll the window down, and I'm like, just a second, just dropping him off. And Lovitz goes, hello, it's me. And I'm like, what in the world? He goes, yeah, we can do whatever we want. I go, all right. And then the cars behind us are like honking because we're just clogging it up. So somebody goes, bang, bang. They don't know who's in here. It's me. I'm like, we can't do this. We had to drive around the block and watch his old SNL stuff till like 12:31 in the morning. I'm like, I can't get him out. Can't shake him.
And then back again.
Want to meet for lunch tomorrow? Okay. I could say no, but I think you're just going to be relentless. We went to lunch at Hillstone, and there's nothing funnier. You know, if you're around a celebrity, you'll get the "Can I get your autograph" thing. People don't do that to Jon Lovitz. And I don't know why. We went to Hillstone up on Camelback. And people walk up to Jon Lovitz and say, "Has anyone ever told you look just like Jon Lovitz?" And then he says, "Of course they have." Or, "No, but I hear he's very good looking." In that voice. And they're like, "Well, you do. You look just like him." And then they leave. And I'm like, how do you know Jon Lovitz so well? You have the courage to wander up to a stranger
and you hear the guy talk.
"Well, he sounds incredible." And then they're like, "Okay, thank you. You look just like him." They're like, not convinced. They looked 3 times. Some lady came up to the table. "I'm so sorry to bother you. You look exactly like Jon Lovitz." "Yes, people tell a lot." Ugh. "Okay, I just want. Thank you. I'm sorry for interrupting." And then they leave. I'm like, is that constant?
Not one selfie, huh?
No.
Wow.
And I dropped him off at the hotel that one time, and about 4 guys saw him in the car, and then kind of walked over to the car. And I'm like, they're gonna. "Oh yeah, no, I know. I'm in for it." And he gets out and he walks out and he's taking pictures and signing. But the other times it was just people thinking, "I know you," and he talks like this, and okay, it's not him. It's him. He's Jon Lovitz. And then he asked the waitress, goes, "Do you listen to the radio?" And she goes, "I do sometimes. I don't get up in the morning." And he goes, "Oh, do you know about him?" And she looked at me and she goes, And I'm like, "It's a radio, John. How is she supposed?" I said, "Anyway, I host the Jon Lovitz show." And she goes, "Oh, I've heard of that. I've heard of that." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a great show. It's really good." It's like, what station's on? Like 96.4. I think I used to listen to that. And he's just rolling. Like, they're doing that. Stop it. But he's fun. It was a fun weekend. My Jon Lovitz weekend was good times. And it seemed like everyone had a good time at the thing on Friday. And then I got a screen cap of one lady who evidently commented on Facebook or Instagram or something. Everybody else said, "Oh, what a great time. Had a great time. Laughed. It was fun. We had a night." And then one lady's like, "We had to leave early." I'm not easily offended, but this was a frat house gone wrong. And basically was like, because of the treatment of women that night, I had to leave early. Well, then you are easily offended. That's basically, don't go on a Facebook page to tell everybody you were offended and how hard it is to offend you. And you don't read any of the other comments about Ali Sadiq being brilliant or all that. Like, this was hilarious. Well, it wasn't my cup of tea, as the lady would have said, Brady.
Man.
But I was offended, so we left early, and I needed to let everyone know how hard it is to offend me. And then you know what you just me? Mission accomplished, John and the gang. Nice work. You took a lady who's hard to offend and you got her out. You know how I know fraternities are cooler than sororities? Because no one ever says, "Ugh, this group of girls are like a sorority gone crazy." Nobody ever wants to hang out with a sorority. They're boring. You're not funny. And all women, if it was a girl show, all they do is complain about guys and like periods and their vaginas and what we do wrong and taking out the garbage and blah, blah, blah. Also, if it was a show like that with all women on the bill, it wouldn't have mattered. No one would have been offended because there would have been no one in the crowd. It's the WNBA of comedy. All girl stuff. But yeah, she took the time out of her day to say, I know there's hundreds of comments here that loved this, and I am really hard to offend, but I was offended. Then you're not that hard to offend. You're just not. And didn't I start the whole show by asking the audience if anyone had a stick in their ass and that they're not going to go on social media afterwards, no matter what happens here tonight, complain and whine or do any dumb stuff on their phone?
Well, it was right. It wasn't right at the beginning.
It was right at it was the second thing. It was after Gerber. But he wasn't mean to women. He was mean to India.
That was enough to break the ice.
Right.
Maybe she left then.
Then she's easily offended. She didn't give anybody else a chance.
Here's the other thing is, I'm going to go to a comedy show.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any background of the station or whatever who's hosting it. Because if you're offended there, what are you listening to?
Oh, beyond that.
Which is nothing.
You went to a show and didn't know any of the acts? She was there solely for Jon Lovitz and thought, well, I'm leaving early. The person I'm here to see, I can't get past the first couple people. I'm going to throw up all over myself. I can't do it. And there was a weird thing because when Lovitz played, There's a very pretty girl, and I want her to email. I want her because her boyfriend gave me a thumbs up when I first went out, so I think he knows, like, the show and stuff. So I go out and I do the thing. She seemed fine. She wasn't, like, laughing. And then I went out after Colin Kane, and she seemed grouchy. And I went out after Ali Sadiq and looked over. I'm like, she's still not happy. And then Lovitz said, he goes, you see that girl in the front row crying? Like, when you were out there, she was crying? Yeah. It's like, I felt like the Beatles. I'm like, that's not why she was crying. I think she was upset she wasn't crying because you were so great. It was weird. And I need to know why she was crying. That's all I think about.
Last show, baby. And then it's over.
Then when you euthanize this relationship, it's all over, baby. It was strange. But yeah, I don't understand going to a comedy show and saying the jokes weren't to my liking to the point where I had to leave. And now I got to let everyone else know. Just shut up. Just don't like something and shut up. Can't you not like something and shut up? Got to go on social media. I don't get offended very easily. But let me tell you how offended I was. It's like you were offended. And you are offended easily. You were at a comedy show and walked out offended. That's easily offended. Now, I understand if you were at dinner at Steak 44 and the table next to you was having the same conversations we were doing on stage. Then you're like, my God, this is not the time or place for any of what's going on. I'm offended. Let's go. I get it. But you're in a comedy show. And you walk in and say, I'm up for whatever comes my way. Whatever these guys present me is for laughs. And if I don't like it, well, then I just had a bad night.
But like you said, it's a huge success because 1 out of 100 of the stuff they're selling.
1 out of 1, Brady. I got to hear about the one crusty that was offended. That means job well done. If everybody walked out and said, that was great, you know what it was? Mormon church. We did our jobs. We made someone unable to take it.
We agree.
It's like blacked.com. One girl's got to go, I can't do this anymore. Or it's just, what's the point? It's just like any other porn site. Stupid old lady. Terrible. There's nothing worse. And I feel bad for the person that came with her. Because they have to be offended too. Or their night's ruined. It was out of hand. They did. Sure did. Maybe
they stayed. She left.
Maybe. That would be great.
Honey, go on home.
That would have been great. Like, why don't you take off? Because you are ruining the night for everyone. And then I did have a couple of people that I know not go. I got tickets for one of them. And then a couple other people that purchased tickets. And they got the call later. The next day, in fact. Said, how was the show last night? I'm like, didn't you go? And he goes, no. I didn't know they had that Vaxx card thing. And I'm like, oh, you did? Yeah. He goes, well, these venues. To his credit, the point was well made. It got under his skin. He's like, I'm not even going to do that because I don't think he's vaccinated. He's living on the idea that he had it once.
Lots are.
I know. But he wouldn't go. He turned around once and his wife didn't have a card. So they're like, they didn't go. And then he said, answer this for me. He goes, I know you guys didn't do it. It's the venue. He said, but aren't the vaccines time sensitive? And I'm like, yeah, they kind of are. And he said, so if you got it in February, don't you need a new one by now? Don't you need like a booster shot? And you have to, it's on the card. They'll write that down if you got the booster. He said, yeah, but they didn't say that. It didn't have to be up to date. And he goes, so it's just going through the motions. It's meaningless. And I'm like, yeah, it is meaningless. And it totally is. Because if I got my shot, when did we get ours? In May? We're good.
I think so, yeah.
I can't prove that I had COVID, but I did a couple of weeks ago. So I got the antibodies. But they were tested on site, too, which is just kind of weird. But it's a venue's job to say, all right, it's basically for liability's sake in case it becomes a super spreader or some weird thing. Later we find out Omicron was there and we got to – but they basically ask for your vaccine card. And he's right. In a way, if you got it back in March or April, is it still good?
The other thing
so it doesn't
is
really
having
matter.
the vaccine card and you're still positive.
Oh, you can be positive.
But you don't. You wouldn't know that. So you show the vaccine card, you're okay.
Yeah, I don't get it. Well, I don't know. I don't know what it accomplishes. And I didn't want to say anything before the event because I didn't want to even stir it up. But it's every business's right to do it. If it makes them comfortable, I'm cool with it. No problem. Because the people who aren't vaccinated, like my friend, just said, I'm not going. I don't, and my wife doesn't have her card anyway. I'm not going to sit through he said they looked at the test line and it was kind of long. I just don't feel like getting involved in that. I'm like, that's fine. It's your choice. And it's the venue. He's not mad at the venue. He's like, their choice to make it, my choice to not go and put my money in there. And I totally get it. But what does it accomplish? Like, that's a good question. Because I'm vaccinated and I got it. You can still get it. It just makes it easier to go through. What is the end game with the vaccine card showing?
Just covering their
CYA,
ass. It's
right?
Like, yeah, I mean, it's that was the whole thing from day one. All the venues got together and said, "Hey, we're gonna do this." Try not to get shut down again. Trying to get unnecessary lawsuits and things like that. Like you said, if there's a super spread, hey man, everybody was vaxxed.
Yeah, we checked the cards, but what does that cover? I mean, I used to think it's all CYA too, but now it's like, well, what does it cover? I guess it means that they didn't have any. Well, they did have unvaccinated people because if you didn't have a card, you could get a test and still get in. So it just meant you didn't have it.
Right.
I don't understand it.
And you didn't have it showing symptoms at that point.
Right.
You could still have it. You could have got it on Sunday. The symptoms started showing.
My first test for COVID said no.
Yeah.
And I had symptoms. I'm like, it says no. I'm like, all right, I'm negative, I guess. I came to work for 2 days until I couldn't smell anything.
Well, that's
good. Yeah, I was like, good. Okay, well, maybe it's just allergies. So and it didn't feel much worse than that. Like, I'm just a little congested, a little headache. No big deal. But I took the test immediately after I got the symptoms. I'm like, let me see. It was negative. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me kind of wandering, traversing the planet, trying to figure out what's next. But it's a good point. Like, the vaccine card doesn't prove anything, really, other than it was an all-vax night. Or was it? Because you didn't have to be vaccinated. You just had a test or vaccine. I don't know. That card doesn't really do anything.
I had a couple friends that weren't vaxxed, but they went there ahead of time, got the test, and walked right in. No problem. And the line was real quick, too, they said.
Yeah. Well, by the way, I didn't even get checked.
Yeah, none of us did.
Yeah, you didn't either?
No.
Yeah,
I had my card. I didn't care, but just like, all right, see you in there.
Yeah, it was easy. Just wandered right in. I was in there all day. I was in there in the daytime. I was in there alone for a while with Lovitz. We were just walking around because we beat the sound check crew there. So we were just kind of hanging around the building, spreading whatever we had. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I don't get it. But it's their choice. And I'm going to stand by that. Everybody that screams out, it's my freedom for being in. All right, so they're free to check. And you two just don't hang out for a while. You don't want to go to celebrity because they vax check? That's fine. I don't understand it, but I got the card just in case. Plus, it was fun to have a Jew with me all day and have people ask for his papers. Yeah, I think that was the fun part. Yeah. No. I'm talking about when you go to an event, they're like, we need to see your papers.
Oh, okay.
I like to walk around with a Jewish guy and have people.
And he points that out.
Can't get in. Yeah. It's great. Your papers, please. They never asked John either. That's what I was kind of getting to the celebrity. Well, we should probably run into a few people. They ask for your papers. You're just really into that, aren't you? Yes, I am, sir.
Herr Holmberg.
Herr Holmberg's always trying to get it to where I have to have my papers shown or else. I always point to the ceiling of his dressing room. You see all those claw marks? That's for when the shower starts. You're a horrible person. Yes, I am. Just with you, though, John. He's fun.
Give me a nice golf lesson.
Yeah, he gave you a golf lesson. We did improv in the car from Hillstone to the airport. He wanted to do improv. Let's do improvisation. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll be a caller, and you be a host of a show. You should be able to do that. All right. And I would just interview his character. We took 24th Street to the airport, so we had some extra time to kill. It was long. He's fun, though. But, it was all great, except that one lady, that one offended lady. Somebody says, I was at the show, and the best part of watching were two bitches in the front row giving the stink eye the whole time. I don't know if the show was better or watching those chicks' reactions to things. What is it about? Why go to that and go, ugh, laughing? It's so hard to make. It's not that. Remember the old game show, Make Me Laugh?
Yeah.
Where your objective was to not laugh? You went in going, no. Have fun. Relax. Listen to something that makes you uncomfortable and think and be, oh, this is hysterical. But what are you there for? And if that's a frat house gone crazy, I thought it was fun.
I thought they were going to be props, puppets.
Yeah. They're swearing. The one man said something about vaginal mesh multiple times. There was a black. Oh. It was weird. It was just strange. But anyway, we had a great time. I had a great time. I don't care about you never can 2 or 3 people that don't get it. I went to a comedy club and I walked out. offended. And the first thing an offended person always says is, I'm not easily offended. Yes, you are. You wouldn't be saying that. It's stupid to say. I'm not easily offended. So I usually go, and when I'm offended, I find it to be great. It's a new barrier that's been broken. It's like when Tom Brady threw 600 touchdowns. Nobody's ever done that before. This is great. How did you offend me? That Jonathan Gerber guy that won our comedy show Friday almost offended me.
Yeah.
And like I got to the point where like I may be beyond the line of laughing, and now I am kind of offended, and I'm dying. I'm like, that's hard to do. Congratulations. Somebody who's not easily offended.
You're next, Allie.
It takes a true person who's not easily offended takes great pride in the day someone offends them. Because like, wow, it's like hitting my fastball. It's like I throw 101 miles an hour and you took me deep. That is hard to do. Well done. If you can offend me, it's a tip of the cap, my friend. Because it's hard to do. Because I just don't care about stuff that much. Ali Sadiq asked me before, he goes, man, I just found out, man, this for dog. And I said, yeah. And he goes, can I still do my dog stuff? And I'm like, how's it? What is it? And he goes, how much I hate dogs. I'm like, no, don't do that. No, he goes, no, but it turns into a happy ending. And I'm like, oh, you do whatever you want. It's, you want to lose the audience of dog lovers. You've done it before. You know how your stuff works. He goes, all right. He did it, and it's a great story. That dude is hilarious.
He is.
He's great. So, great night. Thanks to everybody who showed up, who played along. It's like playing Monopoly and saying, I don't like pink money. How do we have to play? Oh, stop it. I'm not easily offended. I like all the other money. I just don't like this one. Ugh. Humorless C words. The world is too full of them. And what we need to do is lock them in a room, pry their eyes open like Clockwork Orange, and just show them offensive things and say, now get through life, buttercup. It's not that simple. The world isn't going to lay down on your pillow bed and act like everything's your way. Shut up. And the worst part is yesterday, I had to also MC and host the Lost Our Home Pet Rescue charity ball thing. They have a sit-stay luncheon. Brady went, and I'm at the thing, and I got to host it. I'm terrible at this stuff. It's not for me. They asked me to do it, and I'm like, I'll do it, but I don't think I'm very good at these. So I get up, I do the thing, but I spend the entire time telling old people not to listen to the show because it's not our audience by any stretch at all. It's wealthy old people that help charities. And then one lady came up to me when I was trying to leave, and she goes, you're wonderful. I'm like, thank you very much. What was the radio station? You said I'm going to tune in tomorrow. I'm like, don't do that. Do not at all tune. I'm going to say crusty bitch more often than you've ever heard it in your life. Oh, I love that stuff. But she was very nice when I had to tell her don't. When we first got there, I had to tell the lady that I am the host of the thing. Oh, you're right around the corner. What radio station are you with again? And I told her, she goes, oh, we'll have to tune in on Monday. Do not listen to the show.
Good morning, ladies.
Just continue your life the way it was. I am not doing children's homework stories. We're not talking about, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to your shoes. It's not that radio show. I'm not Beth or Matthew Blades. I'm not trying to be sweet to the soccer moms that are running their kids going, I'm a miserable dose of reality that you don't want, lady. We'll tune in anyway. Okay. Well, shut the up after you hear what you hear because I don't want to hear from you.
Should have told me your name was Jim Sharp.
I told everybody I was Beth from
okay.
Beth, yeah.
And send your complaints.
Yeah, I said, if you got any complaints, I'm Beth McDonald from KEZ. And I don't think anybody could tell the difference, to be honest. So
got some chuckles.
Got some chuckles, but half of them were. Those are the people who got it. The rest were like, yeah,
what did he say?
Beth looks terrible. It is. It's a weird thing because you're in these hotel ballrooms, and there's zero energy in that room, and there's like the acoustics do nothing. Celebrity theater, when you get a laugh, it comes crashing down on the center of the stage like a wave. At that thing, it sounds like people in another. Like if you're at a movie theater and you can hear the movie in the next room, that's the sound. Like when you tell you, that's as loud as the laughs on your own. I'm just dying up here. This is miserable.
Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
Keep going. Just run the script, man. Go. They're bringing dogs up in a second here. Don't bother with any time. Yeah, it's crazy. But it was a really nice event, and the people there are wonderful. I think I have to come up with a way to say no to hosting those things. I just don't think I'm good at it at all. I'm not comfortable. I think I'm bad at those. I just get up there and I'm like, ugh, None of these people know me, and they don't like me. The whole audience just hates me right away. You're fine. You did a nice job. What radio station? Do you play numbers, or do you talk about weather? Yeah, we do all that. Don't listen ever.
You were, you did a good job, and you're nowhere close to the professional auctioneer.
Oh,
she's the superstar.
Letitia the auctioneer. I've been to 5 events, and Letitia the auctioneer comes. Now, look, I was at an event with my gay neighbors for the 1 in 10, and I saw Letitia the auctioneer. She comes out, and she's ready to go, and she does these events.
It's like one of the Mandrell sisters.
They did $475,000 off her auction.
Yeah,
she's pushy, but that's what an auctioneer's supposed to be. They get real pushy, and it's a guilt party. Like Brady still feels like
it's Sunday collection at church.
Yeah. Oh, man. Brady's inner Jew came out,
and they started with the chairism, and I was out.
The whole point is it's a charity event. Yeah. He called charity event chairism, which I found hysterical.
Now I'm at this charity event, and then they start begging for money, and I'm gone.
Like, did you hear yourself? To a charity event.
Start asking me for money at a charity event. That's when I know the whole thing's just for one reason.
Yeah, the charity. But they raised a ton of money.
I threw him some shekels.
Brady had sauce. They had a charity box, and you could put in money. I looked in there, and there was
a wine grab.
There was a lifetime participant Porkopolis card, and then 2 bottles of sauce. And I'm like, oh, Brady. But yeah, that auctioneer, outrageous. But they play rich people. Those people in there are loaded, and you start off with like $10,000 donations. And when one rich dude does it, the other guy looks over and goes, that asshole who owns the aviation thing. I'll do it too. And he has to be in. And then they spend the whole entire event trying to top each other. Because the one dude that threw in the first 10 and then another dude matched it, everybody knew him. And she pointed him out. Oh, thanks a lot, Rob. And then she goes, I don't know what the hell an auctioneer's doing.
Awesome.
And people know what's happening. I have no idea what's going on. It's like, how much are we doing here? And then somebody will raise their hands. 10,000. I'm like, oh my God, put your hands down. If you answer one of her then you owe 10 grand. So then
dogs are rolling off. Didn't meet the reserve. Roll a dog. Next dog. It was like
10,000. Damn it. It's open for one of them $1,000. So she hits the 10 guys, or the few guys that do the 10,000. And then a few seconds later, we level it. It becomes a class warfare. You start at 10, then they'll do $5,000 donations, then 1,000, or 2,500, then 1,000, and now we're down to $500.
100.
Well, I don't know about the 100s. I didn't stick around. I had to go. So the $500 donations, and that place just goes gangbusters at 5s because you start seeing people willing to like, I can do that. I'm not going to go nuts. Well, right before the 500, dude walks up to. The balls rich people do deserve to get kicked in the nuts by the Students for Socialism, because right in the middle of the event, he thought, well, I'm bigger than this entire event. I'll be right back. I'm going to go walk up to the stage while the show's going on and just start talking to the person because I own this place. Like what Lovitz said. It's me. Walks up to the stage and goes, just want to let you know. If you get, he wasn't quiet about it because I was sitting right there. He goes, hey, you get to $30,000 in this next round. I'm going to match that. And then the other guy goes, me too. And he goes, 50. And he walked away. And she goes, wait, 50 or 30? I've already done 30. I'll match up to 50. And the guy goes, I'll match to 30. He goes, all right, then fine. We'll both match to 30. It's like, Jesus Christmas. These two dudes hate each other. And both of them are trying to get laid by the entire group of old ladies.
I'm going to get hammered in tax this year. I need some write-offs.
Well, it is a pretty good write-off. It's a full tax write-off, and you will get killed. But these dudes were pouring money onto this, which is a great cause, and you like to see it, but wow. I'm going to go up there, and this jackass keeps sending me for things. That's why auctions are fun, because it becomes ego.
We knew where it was when the first batch were these amazing cookies.
Oh, yeah.
They're like milk chocolate with Oreos in the center. I don't know how she made them, but anyway.
They're at the table.
But they're selling a pack of 50 cookies.
So did you get in on that, or what?
Let me get a little auction. Yeah.
Did you bid on those?
The opening bid. It's like $200. Oh.
$200 for
sold cookies? $2,000 for 50 cookies.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I'm out.
See, Brady's still looking for the value. And it's a charity event. Of course you're going to spend a ton
But
more.
I figured that would be enough. And then I thought, well, what's your threshold of what do you want to donate today?
$200. We'll just give $200.
Yeah.
It's just tough when you're sitting at the table and everybody else is whipping their paddles in the air and you're sitting there eating your cookie going, I'm here for the food.
My table host scored a.
Yeah. Did he get the cookies?
He got the Opus One the bottle of Opus One autographed, which is kind of cool. Mr. Opus.
Oh my God, the Opus
Robert
guy did
Mondavi or whatever his name is.
Lord.
No, that's the actor, right?
No, Robert Mondavi's the one guy.
Okay. And then a Cristal, bottle of Cristal. And
autograph
then,
by Mr. Cristal. Billy Cristal.
A brunch for 6 at T. Cook's.
That's pretty good. Do you have to go to that? Did you get sucked into that too? Now he's
I
going to
will.
use it. Would you? Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's free. You didn't do anything for that charity, and you're going to. You did. It was Brady's charity yesterday. He did better than anybody else. He got a free table and dinner at T. Cook's. That's a good win. And Kirby evidently is grounded for being a butthole, but is almost got a dog anyway.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It was
How'd
great.
that work out?
Seeing the punishment of Kirby was pretty awesome because she didn't show any ill effects. Ronnie told me, she goes, we took away her electronics and her phone, and she was
classic dressing up, or not even dressing up, just putting something nice on. Mm-hmm. Didn't want to do it.
Right. Just looking a little bit classy.
Yeah.
She's with it.
You remember when you're a kid, and the worst thing you want to do
couldn't
is
get me out of a suit.
Going to church, you got to dress up, or
she didn't want to do it.
She put up a little fight yesterday.
Yeah. And so she fought and got her stuff taken away. And then the ultimate punishment was, hey, old pirate, I want a dog.
You got it, Kirby Derbs. Which one?
And Ronnie's like, she'll end up with a dog. And then Ronnie was worse.
They both won.
Miss Hammer down. Ronnie's like, she's not getting anything today. I'm the hammer's down. Then all of a sudden, they're both
like
talking about
Grinch. There's hearts in her eyes.
Yeah. She had no punishment skills. Kirby's like, I got this in the bag, baby. By the way, I have a burner phone they don't know about. That's pretty great.
Who bid on this?
Yeah, I got it, old man. Kirby wants, Kirby gets.
They were at the table. Everyone's there, and everyone gets a bidding number. I'm like, she's not going to meet. They're like, is your child? You want her to have a bidding
Heck
number?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was great though. Our home people lost our home people are amazing. It was a great thing. I have to come up with a way to tell people when they ask me to host those things that that's not my bag. I'll do whatever you want me to do outside of that. I'm not good at it. You put me in a button-up shirt and
See, because I was in there with Amy when you guys came, when she was talking to you about it. Did you want to have to call raffle tickets and all that kind of stuff?
No. I refuse to do that.
All right. I remember you talking that.
Tickets. I'll never do that again in my life. I'll never reach into a bucket.
75, 52, anybody?
I did it at the Fireman's Ball, and I told the guys, I'm like, you don't need to do this ever again with me or anyone else. This is the worst thing you can do to a human being is say, here's a bucket of raffle tickets to an audience that's kind of not interested.
Their silent auction thing was kind of cool. It was on your phone.
Oh,
and you bid.
Yeah, the bidding is all that now. The last few I've been to have all been phone bids. They don't bug you with the sign-ups. And it's still it's the exact same thing as a silent auction. Just wait till the last second and make your mark. I lost out on a couple of things, but it's all right. It was fun, though. But Lost Our Home Pet Rescue is a great organization. They do great stuff. The one who started the whole thing, she's amazing, and their employees are great. I just don't think I should host their stuff. And not because I don't like them. It's just let Brady do it. It's not for me.
No,
then you don't have to pay anything. You don't have to feel anything. You do feel the guilt, though.
Oh, yeah, it's good. That's when you know you're at a good charity.
Yeah, I like the people. I think they do great work. I got to kick in. It was nice, though. Big weekend. Big, long weekend. Let's get a wake-up song, shall we? A good one for all those offended ladies out there. Turn it. You have an option. Leave. Shut up.
The holiday stress, John.
I'm going to go right on Instagram and tell all these people that I disagree with, the ones that had a good time, I'm going to throw a wet blanket on their fun. Not all of us had a good time.
So what?
I'm the one.
Good for you. Let's get a wake-up song. 585-9800. A good one, and we'll scream it together. It's 98 KUPD. Wake up!
The best the world has to offer in music, drama, and comedy.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.